Before you exchange these lights on the front, look at our website and make sure that it's worth the little extra money and work, because they don't really look too bad, the stock lights. Maybe yours are bent and damaged or something. That would be good. And then also make sure that this mounting bracket back here is straight. The light stem should come out straight. Hopefully it's not bent. You can go on one of the OEM suppliers and buy that bracket. It's the same basic bracket that holds the headlights. So anyway, like I say, if you do decide to do these signal lights, let's get started and I'll show you how to do it. First thing I did is I covered my little chrome covers that I painted. These are beautiful and they're black now and they'll scratch quite easily, so I put some towels over these. That way if I drop the lights or something or a tool or something, I won't scratch these. Do that first and then I'll show you how to get this started. Okay, the first thing we want to do is remove this headlight ring and the headlight. This is the bucket back here. Now make sure that we don't remove this screw and the one over on the other side down here. These are the adjuster screws. You definitely don't want to undo those. You want to take these screws out back in here on the bucket itself. So there's one here and one on the other side down lower there. It's right down there by that bracket that holds the signal light. And I've removed the signal light so you can see this better. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those screws. The other side is out. Make sure you keep track of these too, don't lose them. Okay, once you remove those, let me see if I can do this without bumping the camera. Okay, you lift the bottom of the headlight out like that, and you kind of move it back and forth, and it unpops moving down this way. There's a little bracket there that holds it, so you push down and out. Okay, then you'll notice that the headlight is got a big plug back here. And this is kind of nice to know about too, because if you ever have to replace your headlight bulb, you do it by unplugging this and taking the bulb out of here. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to unplug that big plug. And we'll remove the headlight itself. And that exposes all these wires. Before we take the signal lights off, we need to disconnect the connectors that are holding the wires that go to the signal lights. Now this is kind of cool because there's all these connectors in here. We have the single type, but there's not a little kind of like an end on there. So those you don't disconnect. I'll show you what they look like. Okay, see this one? See that how it has the rubber boot and then it has a little extra booty on there to cover that other wire up. So these are the singles, and then there's two doubles and they also have that same little nubbin sticking out. So you got two double connectors and two singles. Now you want to do is just grab a hold of those wires, kind of twist them around, and they'll unplug just like that. Same with these. If you twist them around and pull on them, they'll come out. So go ahead and disconnect those. Disconnect all those wires. So there's two doubles and two singles. Okay, I'm going to have to hold this camera, so forgive me if it's a little bit shaky. So anyway, to remove the signal light itself, there's a bolt back here. Okay, there's a little rubber boot that covers that bolt, so just slide that back, and that exposes the bolt. And I think it's a 17mm wrench goes on there, and that should loosen up quite easily. And then go ahead and unscrew those. Do that all the way, and then I'll be back to show you how to pull these lights off. Now I've got it all loose. What I'm going to do is just reach behind there and grab that wire that's behind there and pull it out like this. You'll see the connectors pull through the bucket there. You have to work it a little bit. Okay, once you get those wires out like that, then just go ahead and slide that little rubber boot off. And that'll slide over the connectors, and then take the nut off, and this whole thing should just slide out. Go ahead and do that to the other side. Now this is just totally optional if you decide to do this. I just don't like the looks of this wire thing around here, and I'm not sure, by riding this bike around, I'm not sure it's all that necessary to guide these cables exactly where they are at. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Like I say, it's up to you if you want to get rid of that or you can leave it, either one. And it's really simple. It's loose now, so what we want to do, to get this clutch cable out, let me show a cool way to do that. Okay, to get this cable out of the housing here, it's really simple. What you do is you just adjust the adjuster all the way in as far as it'll go, and that'll give your clutch a lot of free play. So adjust that all the way in as far as it'll go this way, and then line up these two slots, this one and this one, And then what you do is you grab a hold of the clutch cable like this, pull the lever, pull the cable like that. It'll catch on that edge. It'll pop out of that slot. Just go ahead and rotate it like that. And pop that out. Now we can go ahead and slide this rubber boot off and remove that chrome housing, that chrome rack thing. When you put this back in here, make sure this clutch cable routes the same way that it did before. Don't get it up over the top of the choke cable. So go ahead and just do it this reverse to the same way you did it to take it off. You just hook that through there, through the slot. I kind of pull it on there and then pull it up. Slide it back in, and now you can readjust your clutch. Whenever you readjust your clutch too, make sure you have a little bit of free play. No, you don't want too much, but you can go ahead and check your owner's manual too. It'll probably tell you, but just a little bit of free play when you adjust this. Oh, and don't forget your little rubber boot.